So I'm actually kind of determined to make this vlog like an actual booktubing, reading, doing related things vlog instead of just like complaining about my life. So to start with the booktubing related things, I'm very nearly done with this. I should finish it soon. I have like 30 pages left or something. I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's like a whatever, 3 stars for me. I don't care. I did enjoy the Night Circus. This just seems kind of like too unwieldy almost, and I don't care about the characters. I have like the same complaints I had about the Night Circus without a lot of the positives, because it doesn't feel as atmospheric to me. It doesn't seem as lovely, like the writing and stuff, but the characters still feel like very flat, very caricature almost, and I just am not a huge fan. But I also don't hate it. It's like fine. It's one of those books that I read it, I'll read it. I'm mostly just tired of reading it because it's been taking me so long. But other exciting thing, I bought a book today. I'm so excited I bought a book. I got Long Bright River by Liz Moore. This is the new release. It came out yesterday, and I was still like torn over what to get, and then I saw this in the store and I was like, I know what I'm gonna get. So I actually wasn't really planning on getting a hardback because this did take off like most of that gift card I had. I only have like $3.40 left, so this was most of the gift card. But it's so lovely and it's so new, and I love The Unseen World. Like, The Unseen World was amazing. That was one of my favorite books, not just of that year, it was my favorite book the year I read it, 2018 I think. It was not just that, but also my favorite book potentially of all time. I adore that book. I think it's amazing. I've already reread it. I plan to reread it again. I probably would have bought that, except my store doesn't have it like in the store right now, and we haven't since I worked there, and I didn't really feel like having to order it. That was too much for me. So I got this one, and like, I'm hoping this is amazing. It's about opioid addiction in Pennsylvania, I think. I don't know. I don't really care. I expect to love this. If I don't love this, this will be like the most disappointing thing I've ever read. If this is not like my favorite book of 2020, it will be a disappointment. But I'm still hoping to enjoy it. I'm hoping it's nice and good and lovely, and I'm very, very excited. And it's also cool because like, I can't remember the last time I've bought like a new book. Like, obviously like this is extreme considering it came out yesterday. I didn't work yesterday, which is why I didn't buy it yesterday. But I like it. It's fun. Like, honestly, just like being able to buy a new book, which like I'm not gonna do. I only did it this time because I had the gift card, but it was fun to buy a new book, and I'm so excited. And like, I can't remember the last time I bought a new released hardback. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm so excited, and I can't read it right now because I do have to get through my library books still, but I want to read it really, really soon. Here with another bookish update. I did start reading A Dream About Lightning Bugs, which is the Ben Folds memoir I checked out like a month ago. I don't dislike this book, but I will say it's very disappointing. Just not in terms of like topic or anything. He's just talking like right now about his childhood and his relationship with music and how that started, and it's fine, it's interesting, like it's exactly what I wanted it to be in that regard. It's just, I don't really like the writing style. It's a very like chatty to the reader, like, hey, what's up friend, how are you doing today kind of style, and I don't like that in reading. I like for my books to feel like books and not conversations, so I'm not loving it, which I mean, I still like it. It's definitely going to be either 3 or 4 stars. I'm only like 50 pages in, so definitely have a lot more to go, but like, I'm enjoying it. It's going to be a positive rating. I'm going to be glad that I read this book. I don't love it quite the way I wanted to, which is disappointing. And the other thing is that I did go to the library like a week ago, and I checked out the book, my one library book of January, because one of my 2020 goals was to not check out more than one library book per month, like without like a good reason as to why. One library book per month is my goal. So this is my one for January. It is Heroine by Mindy McGinnis. This was recommended to me by Emily at Books for Life. I did not exactly love the last Mindy McGinnis book I read. It was The Female of the Species. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like the way it dealt with rape culture. I don't think it handled it particularly well. I think she missed the point, or she missed the mark on it, I guess would be a good way to say it. Didn't love that one. This one sounds really interesting though, so hopefully I like it better. It's a YA contemporary about a girl who's a field hockey player, volleyball. She plays a sport in high school and winds up, I think she's a catcher on a softball team. I don't know where field hockey and volleyball came from, but she winds up being injured and then getting medication for it and then starting to use heroin as it kind of spirals out of control. But I don't know, it sounds interesting to me. I like issue-driven YA contemporaries, so I'm hoping that I'll really enjoy this. It is Friday. I am on my break. I filmed 2 videos today, my best video and a review for the Starless Sea, because I have to return that to the library, and I think that review was trash. I was pretty much just like, I don't care, and this book is weird. So that was not a great start to reviewing for 2020, but you know, it's reviewed. I'm kind of just like eating pot stickers now. We got these vegan pot stickers from I forget what brand they are, and they're like really good, except they also have a whole edamame in them, which is just like, why would you put a whole entire edamame bean thing in a pot sticker? It's weird, and it's like not bad, but the edamame is definitely not good in them. Don't really like it. Have read more of my Ben Folds book. I still don't really like that. I mean, I like it. It's probably gonna be like a solid 3 stars. Like, I enjoyed this. I'm glad I read it, but it is disappointing. I'm just hanging out with baby Mima, who's like kneading away happily. She's very happy because I stopped cooking the pot stickers and she doesn't like the sizzle of the pan. But yeah, I'm just kind of like hanging out, and then my boyfriend and I have to go to Walmart tonight to buy things for him because he wants like this Ring Fit thing that's like an exercising video game, which I don't know, seems weird, but he wants one, so that probably means I'll do it with him. So that's fun, and I'm just enjoying my day off because days off are nice. My entire shift today was just reshelving and reorganizing and doing everything in the current affairs section, which is only about like 2.5 bookcases, like the tall, like 2.5 of those tall like bookcases, just like 4 hours there, and that was so much. And I'm just like, if there's ever anything to just make you lose faith in all humanity, just hang out in the current affairs, because like the conservative stuff is bad, but like half the liberal stuff isn't much better either. It's like, it's just all like appealing to the lowest common denominator and trying to say the most shocking thing, and oh, it makes me hate the world. I am still working on A Dream About Lightning Bugs, the Ben Folds memoir, which I've talked about a lot. I do like it. Like, I feel like I say that every time because most of my experience with this book is disappointment. Like, I am very disappointed by this book, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. It doesn't mean it's not good. It's just, I was really hoping it was going to be 5 stars, and it's probably sitting around 3 stars. Like, solid 3 stars. Very glad I read it. It's very worthwhile. I think if you're a Ben Folds fan, it does give you insights into like his thought process and his music and his career. But I'm gonna put this down because my arm is actually like tired from carrying books all day. But the issue is kind of like, he doesn't get very personal in it. Or he does. I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this that doesn't do him an injustice, because I don't want to like insult him in any way, because like I understand. This book focuses very much on his music and on his career and as his life as a musician, and it kind of glosses over everything that's not directly related to the music, which like the easiest example is his marriages, because I'm like, I forget how far I am. I'm like towards the end. I've read like 2/3 probably, maybe a little more than that, maybe 3/4. And he's like he's gotten divorced twice so far. He's been married like 4 or 5 times, and like, it's not that I want to know the sordid details of it, but he very much glossed over his first wife, who was a close friend of his, who helped him write things, and he just didn't really talk about her much, didn't talk about their relationship much. His second wife he mentioned once when he was like, oh yeah, like we wrote a song together, and then he mentioned her briefly a second time. He was like, oh yeah, we got married in a whirlwind, and we're in a whirlwind of like creating this album, and we're divorced by the time the album was over. And like, that was it. There wasn't like a whole lot of other information, and it's not the information, it's more like there's a connection missing, I feel like, because he focuses so much on his career. Like, this book is about his career, and I think it's a lot better if you go into it knowing it's about his career. And it's not just the marriages, those are just easy examples, but I feel the same way, like, with his relationship with his friends. Like, I don't know who any of his friends are in this book. Like, I don't know who any of his friends are. I just know his bandmates, because they're his bandmates. And he doesn't even talk about his relationship with them, and, like, or his family. And it's just, like, it's very much about his relationship with music and his career as a musician and what happened. And, like, his personality very much comes through, which I enjoy. I like his personality. And he does talk about some things that are very interesting, and, like, he doesn't gloss over his flaws, which is also, like, very interesting. I do like that. He'll say something, he'll be talking about how he did a thing, he'll be like, that was an incredibly selfish thing that I did. I treated her very badly, but it was really good for my career. And he's like, that doesn't excuse what it did, but I'm also not pretending like it didn't benefit me in the long run. And I really like that, because it's, like, very honest, and I don't know, it's just very, like, him as a person, just, like, very honest, very real, very, like, down to earth. And I do like that. I like his voice, I like his personality, I like learning about, like, his career as a musician. It's just, I don't know, I think I was hoping for something a little bit more personal than this book is, and I don't know, like, that closeness and, like, really getting invested. That's what I like about memoirs. That's just what I'm interested in, like, people's relationships, people's lives, their stories. And there's some of that in this book. It's definitely worthwhile. I'm definitely glad that I'm reading it. It's just, like, it's missing something that I usually look for. So that's kind of disappointing, but I don't know. I'll finish this soon. It's also, like, told in kind of vignettes. So, like, each chapter is chronological, but not necessarily connected. It'll be, like, 5 pages on this thing, and then, like, a new chapter, so, like, 5 pages on a new thing that's, like, kind of in order, but also not, like, super, like, narrative driven, if that makes sense. But I do like it. Okay, it's just mostly, like, I really wanted this to be 5 stars. I really wanted it to be, like, what Anthony Rapp's memoir was for me last year, where I read it and I was just, like, crying through that book, because, like, Anthony Rapp got so personal and so emotional in that. And in this, Ben Folds is like, yeah, I wrote a song about how my girlfriend had an abortion in high school, and it was a really hard time for both of us, and, like, we went through some bad things, and her parents are not pleased that I wrote that song, but she seems okay with it. And then that'll kind of be it on the subject. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, he glosses over a lot of things that I really wish were, like, more of the focus, which is fine. It's just a different kind of book than I wanted, and a different kind of book than I would appreciate, but whatever. I am hoping soon to finish it. Hopefully today would be ideal, and then get started on other things, because I do have 8 other library books to read. I have, like, 12 things checked out right now, and a few of them I've already read. I just need to, like, review them so I can return them to the library, and then hopefully get through those, because I'd like to get through maybe not all, most of my library books. I was gonna say in January, but January's half over, so that might not happen. But I'd like to start getting through a lot of my library books soon. Like, get through a couple more in January, because I've only finished 2 books this month, because they've both kind of been disappointing slogs. This is not as bad as the Starless Sea, but I don't know. I'm just... I'm slow reading this month, because I'm spending so much time trying to catch up on booktube, which is fine. Like, I enjoy doing that. I want to get caught up on booktube. It's just that because I've been so far behind, it's like I have to spend, like, 8 hours today watching booktube in, like, 2 times speed, because I'm like, I was literally weeks behind, and now I'm just a few days behind. But it's still, like, a lot of watching, because I do want to actually watch everyone's videos, because I actually enjoy doing that. It's just, like, a lot of time, and reading is also a lot of time. And yeah, I don't know, but I didn't work very long today, so I'm just kind of, like, hanging out, doing booktube, and then hopefully reading. So I did actually finish that Ben Folds book. Like, huzzah, that's amazing. I sat down and read a book. That was my second finish of the year, which it's halfway through January. It's the 15th, so that's not great. I started Pieces of Her by Karin Slaughter, which is the last of the Karin Slaughter books that I checked out in my huge binge in, like, October, and this is due very soon. So I'm working on that. I'm not very far in. I'm, like, 70 pages. It goes by so fast. Like, I'd forgotten, like, reading a good thriller just, like, sucks you in, and I'm like, I could sit here and read for hours. So I'm hoping this is gonna go by really fast and, like, get my numbers up a little, because I'm falling way far behind on my goal already. January is just, I'm sticking to kind of a strict TBR, which I think is why January is not going fantastically well. because I have to get through my library books, and that's what I'm reading, so it's like I don't have like the option to just pick whatever I feel like. It's like I have to read these 3 library books that are due back very soon. This is one of them. I'm really enjoying it so far. Just like her writing style. The main character is annoying, and I'm not sure yet whether it's going to be like enjoyable annoying, like she makes for an interesting character because she's so annoying, or if she's just like gonna be really annoying to read about. Because Karin Slaughter kind of walks that line a fair bit of like, I don't like these characters, but they're interesting. I did wind up finishing pieces of her. It's the 18th now, I think. Never quite sure what the date is, but pretty sure it's the 18th today, so that book took me like 3 days to read, which is good because it's like every time I pick up a book, it's like shortening how long it takes me to read it, because the Starless took me almost 2 weeks, and then the Binfolds memoir took me like a week, and then this is taking me like half a week. So hopefully this trend keeps up. Like I don't need to be down to like a book a day or anything like that, but it'd be nice to not have like a book a week, because that's a little slow for my taste. Didn't love it. Probably my least favorite Karin Slaughter book so far, but I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't terrible. It was just like, I don't know. I didn't think it was particularly well done in terms of like story character development, but I do really like Karin Slaughter's writing style, so she made it compelling even though the story and the characters were not compelling. It was just like her writing. So, yeah, whatever. If that's the worst she has to offer, I'm kind of okay with that. And I have started Heft by Liz Moore, which second time I've checked it out from the library. I checked it out like over the summer, I think. I intended to read it and then couldn't read it. Had to return it. So I have now started it. I'm not very far in, but I have like actually started it. It's due the 23rd, so I have to take it back next week. So this I have to get done in like 5 days. I kind of like it so far. It's kind of weird. I'm not quite sure how I feel. Basically, but I do like it better than anything else I've read so far this year, which is good because this is the 4th book I've read this year, starting January, and it's the 4th book by an author who I specifically enjoy, and the first 3 were very mediocre because Erin Morgenstern of the Starless Sea, I really like The Night Circus, Binfolds, love Binfolds, Karin Slaughter, I have really enjoyed the Karin Slaughter I read so far, and they've all been like very mediocre books. Like they were all 3 stars. None of them were like terrible. It's just none of them were great either. They were all just kind of like bleh, like fine, okay, whatever. The Binfolds one was probably the best of the 3, and I only kind of barely liked that one. But I'm hoping this will break the trend. I'm not sure. There are some weird things in it. She doesn't use the word "and" most of the time. She uses an actual like ampersand symbol, which is really annoying, and she sometimes still uses the word "and", so I don't know why that's a thing. It's like in normal narration, it's not in like letters or anything. If it was in letters, I'd be fine with that. That's like normal to do like different kind of things in like letters or texts or whatever, but it's not. It's in the normal narration. In the letters, she actually only uses the word "and", so I kind of hate it. It kind of like drives me up a wall a little bit. But beyond that, not sure how I feel about this book. It's very strange so far. It's about a very overweight man and this baseball star, and like the man was a former professor and he knew the mother who was one of his students like almost 20 years ago. The boy is like 17 years old, and I'm like, questionable timing there, but so far it doesn't seem like the kid is his son. And I think the kid's just like down a bad path, and the mother's like, here, teach him, help him, I want him to go to college. And I don't know. It's kind of like a weird story, but I'm hoping to like it once I get like further in, because it is hard to judge a book when you're only, 20 pages, 30 pages, whatever in. Hoping it gets better than it is, because so far it's kind of just like weird, interesting, not fantastic. 3 or 4 stars. I'm hoping this will be 4 stars so bad. I want a book this year that I'll love. I feel like I should have had one so far. I should have had one by now based on the authors I've read, and it kind of upsets me that I haven't. So I'm heading into work now, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of reading done at work, but I don't really have any breaks today. I have like a 15, probably, maybe. I'm not even entirely sure. I have a 15 and that's it. If I have a 15, but trying to get this done fast, and I'm making my way decently through the library books I've had. Probably at the end of this vlog, this might be like the second to last clip I have, just because this vlog's getting kind of long. I'll show you the library books that I have left to read, and then hopefully get started on those very, very shortly. So I did say I wanted to go over all of the library books that I currently have checked out, which is a decent stack, but also not really as much as I thought, because just like looking at the library websites that I belong to, I'll be like, oh, you have like 11 books checked out, and I'm like, that's a lot. But also, like, I've read a lot of them, and the only reason I'm keeping them is because I want to film reviews for them, or I'm keeping them for like my wrap up or something. So I actually have gone through like a fair number of the library books I have out, and I've been good about not checking out many more. I've only checked out one so far in 2020, and we're like more than halfway through January. So the library books I haven't read yet. This is kind of a haul, but not really a haul, because I feel like you've seen most of these before. The first is Heft by Liz Moore, which I've already talked about. I am still making progress on it. I'm like not quite halfway through. It feels like the story hasn't started yet, which is weird, but also like I don't hate it. It's just like kind of weird, and I'm interested to see where it's going. The next thing I have out is the series. I forget which one is first. One Dark Throne and Two Dark Reigns. I read Three Dark Crowns in November, I think. I know there's a fourth one. I know I don't have the fourth one yet. I'm aware of that, but there's also not like a wait list for it at the library, so I could pretty much get it whenever. And I was just kind of waiting to get into the second one, which I think is this one. Just like get into it, read it, see if I do actually really like it, because I don't want to commit to the fourth one until I like actually decide that I do enjoy this book. So do plan to read these. I hope they're good. I hope I enjoy them as much as I did the first one, because I think I gave that 4 stars, like barely 4 stars, but still 4 stars. So I do plan to pick up both of these soonish. It's just when I pick them up, I want to like get through this whole series. So I've been kind of waiting to get through some of the other things first, just so like I don't like delay things, because these two are kind of thick. Like they're not going to be long reads by any means, but they are kind of thick, and there are 3 of them, and I assume the fourth one is like the same thickness. And then I have Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero. I know everybody hates this book. I still think it's interesting. It sounds interesting. It sounds like something I want to read, and Bookworm Head really liked it, so hopefully I will like it as well. Other than that, I don't really have too much to say. It's just one that I plan to pick up soon. I'm hoping it'll be fairly quick. I'm hoping that I like it and I don't hate it like everyone else seems to. I have You Were Here by, I still don't know who that is, Gian, Sardar. I can't read cursive, so I have no idea, honestly. This is a thriller. It was recommended to me by someone, Ashley Bundy, I think. I'm just kind of quickly going over these. I don't really know anything about it, but again, it's a thriller. This one's a Scooby-Doo. It's a Scooby-Doo retelling, hence the Meddling Kids with the 4 kids and the dog. This I don't know anything about. Oh, there's gonna be a monster memo. I really don't know anything about it, but because it's a thriller, I'm okay with that. Hello. You're like, yes, I am the cutest. So yes, there's that. And if Memo would move, I could grab the next books. There we go. Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey, which is the second in the Expanse series. Still haven't continued on, still really plan to. It's one of those things I haven't gotten around to yet. So yeah, I am really looking forward to it though. Like I finished season 4 of the TV show just recently because that came out. So I'm about on book 4 of the series, just like from what I know, and I would really like to catch up and get ahead of the TV show because I do think it is more fun to read it first as a book. So again, really need to pick these up because like they're thick books, so I have to work on start getting through them. And then the final thing, which like I said, not too bad. I don't know how many books that is. I don't want to count because then it'll sound bad. The final book before I close out this vlog is Heroine by Mindy McGinnis, which I do believe I've also already mentioned in this vlog. This was my January pick from the library. The one book I check out in January from the library, except I do have one on hold that I will pick up as soon as it comes out because it's a new release. And it's a sequel, so it doesn't technically count, but I'll probably just carry that one over and count it towards like my February library reading goal. I am really trying with the library thing. So I have this stack of books, if I can lift them. Quite heavy, rather thick. Okay, that didn't go well. That is not really a haul, not really a TBR, but kind of like what I plan to prioritize in the near future. yeah, so that closes out the vlog. Thanks for watching. Hello, Mema. Thanks for being in the vlog, Mema. We all appreciate her presence, even if it's only in little bits and corners. Leave a comment down below if you saw anything that you liked. I don't know. I don't know how to close out vlogs. It's always weird and awkward.